Hello and welcome to another video on this channel. My name is Dinkar and you are watching Indian Food in America. Today we are going to make the mashed eggplant and this is one of the easiest recipe for Indian food. There are very few Indian recipes where eggplant is used and this is one of the most loved eggplant recipe. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Now in order to make this recipe, we will need some eggplants. I'm using 2 eggplants here and I'm using a steel plate here which I have wrapped in a silver foil. My goal is to keep these eggplants in the oven so that I can cook them well and use it later in the video. I'm going to make some cuts in this eggplant. I'm using a knife here and I will make the cuts on all 4 sides. I will apply some vegetable oil on these eggplants. This is an important step if you are using the oven here because this oil will save our eggplant from burning inside the oven. I will rotate the eggplant and apply the oil on the other side as well. Once the oil is applied on the both sides, our eggplant is good to go. I will set my oven to 450°F and let it preheat for few minutes. Now if you don't have an oven to roast your eggplant, you can also use this thing to roast your eggplant on the gas burner. You can easily roast the eggplant using the burner, but you have to be very careful since you don't want to burn your eggplant. So you have to keep moving your eggplant while using a gas burner. You can also use a griller, but I would suggest you to go with the oven as it is very easy to use the oven in this case. So I will prefer oven on a gas burner any day, but if you don't have a gas burner, this is also another way to do this. Now I'm going to keep my eggplants in the oven. If you are using the gas burner to roast your eggplant, kindly do not apply the oil, otherwise it will generate a lot of smoke and it will trigger your fire alarm. I will keep this eggplant in the oven for almost 20 minutes and then I will change its side. I will cook the other side for 20 more minutes. Now you can see our eggplant is well cooked. It's already looking very nice and it has a great aroma. Now I will quickly remove the outer shell of this eggplant and take out all the internal part. We don't need this outer shell and I will use a fork here. You can also use a knife or spoon. As you can see, this inner part is well cooked and it's already very mashed. So I will take all of this out and we will use this later in the video. Now I am going to make a masala for this. We will use 2 onions and at least 7 to 8 cloves of garlic and a piece of ginger. Garlic tastes really good in this recipe, so I am using a large amount of garlic here. I will roughly chop my onions into square pieces. We don't need a fine chopping here, so I will quickly cut all of these onions. I am using a grater here for the garlic and ginger, but you can also fine chop them into smaller pieces. You can also use a hand chopper for the ginger garlic. You can also use a garlic press, and I always forget to use this, but this is also a good option if you don't have a grater at home. I'm also using 3 tomatoes and 3 chillis in this recipe. You can cut the tomatoes into rough square pieces just like our onions, and I am roughly cutting the chillis as well. You can increase or decrease the amount of chillis as per your spice level, and you can also use the red chili powder. Once everything is chopped, we will start the cooking process. I will use a pan here and I am using the vegetable oil. The first thing that goes in this recipe is cumin seeds. I am using almost 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds here. Next goes our ginger and garlic. Now I will roast our ginger and garlic for few seconds. You have to be careful with your ginger and garlic as you don't want to burn it. Next goes our onions. I will cook my onions for few minutes and once they start changing their color, I will add the turmeric powder. Next goes some red chili powder. This one is the spicy red chili powder, so you have to be careful with your spice level. I will quickly give it a good mix. Now I am going to add some Kashmiri chili powder. This Kashmiri red chili is not very spicy and it's mostly used for the red color. If you don't like the spicy food, you can just use the Kashmiri red chili powder as well. Now I am going to add some water in this recipe. We do not have to overcook our onions here, so I will quickly give it a good mix and add our tomatoes to this mix. Once our tomatoes are in, I will add 2 tablespoons of table salt. I will let these tomatoes cook properly and cover it for few minutes. As you can see, our tomatoes are almost cooked now. Now I am going to add some green peas here. These green peas are totally optional, but these will taste good with our mashed eggplant. I'm using the frozen green peas here. Now I'm going to add some spices at this point. I will add 1 tablespoon of coriander powder, 3/4 tablespoon of cumin powder, almost half tablespoon of mango powder. This mango powder will increase the tanginess of our recipe and it's highly suggested to add the mango powder here. The next spice I'm going to add here is Kitchen King masala. This Kitchen King masala is an optional spice as this is a mixture of many other Indian spices, and if you don't have Kitchen King masala, you can increase the quantity of coriander powder, cumin powder and mango powder in this recipe, but I will suggest you to use the Kitchen King if it's available. Now I will give it a good mix and let it cook for almost 5 more minutes. As you can see, our masala is fully ready now, and now it's time to add our mashed eggplant in this masala. I will quickly add all the mashed eggplant here. We have to mix this really well so that all our masala get mixed with the eggplant and make the whole eggplant really tangy and spicy. As you can see, our eggplant is already looking very nice, but we have to cover this and let it cook for almost 5 to 7 more minutes. This step is really important so that our eggplants get mixed with all those spices. You have to keep your heat level at low medium so that our eggplant doesn't get stick to the bottom, and keep mixing this eggplant with the masala so that everything gets combined really well. The last thing which goes in our eggplant is garam masala. And our recipe is almost ready now. I'm adding some fresh cilantro to this recipe. Guys, this eggplant is giving a great aroma and I cannot wait to eat this. As you can see, this eggplant recipe was really easy and you can enjoy it with fresh roti or naan. There are very few such eggplant recipes in Indian food, but this is one of those best Indian recipes. Hope you like this video and you will try this at home. You can comment down below if you have any questions or queries regarding this recipe. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more such Indian food recipes. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.